Next is the email. So if this is going to be an if statement, and this is going to be a regex. So what I'm going to do here is say constant, because we don't want this to change. I'm going to say let's call this email regex. Okay, and I'm gonna add in here a string. Here you add a regex string, which is basically telling how you want to interpret the string that is going to be passed. And I know this kind of sounds complicated, but you will get used to this. So the first thing you need to add is a forward slash, and then you end up adding, where did that go? Here, this. So here in these square brackets you will add what you want. And in an email, remember that in an email you end up having like something like this. Okay, so we need letters, and this could also be like a number as well. Okay, so we only want, but we don't want something like a dollar sign or something like that, right? So we are not going to include that. So we're going to say it's going to be letters from A to Z, and they can be capital A to Z, and also we want numbers from 0 to 9. Okay, and this is going to cover this part. So now we want to add this, right? It needs to include this. So what we're going to do is we're going to say plus, I'm going to add this. Now what this is doing is saying that, okay, when we end up creating this, right, this is going to have numbers and letters, but we want to make sure our email value ends up having this as well. So we're attaching that with this. Okay, and the reason this isn't going to be a plus is because you need to escape it using something like this. Okay, this is a predefined thing which is used in JavaScript as well for concatenation, so it's something similar to that for joining. So we're telling that we need an @ symbol here. After that we also want the same thing, but remember this part does not have numbers, so we're going to exclude that unless there was some company out there that decided to use a number, then you would add that too, but mostly that isn't the case. Okay, that is not the case. So we have added this, and now what we need is a dot. Okay, and for that, dot is also something that is predefined in Regex, so you need to escape this, and you do this to escape it. Okay, and after escaping it, it's basically the same thing. We want this. Okay, so we would add that into this. Now that we've added this, right, we are going to add this. It needs to be a minimum value of 2 here, and we're gonna end it with this. Okay, now what this and this means is that this is the starting position of the regex, and this is the ending position of the regex. Okay, and now that I think about it, sometimes you will have some people who have like a dot or a dash or an underscore in their name as well, so we're gonna add that into this as well. And the reason why you might be thinking, okay, this needs to be escaped and this doesn't, well, the reason for that is it's how this is written. If it's in the square brackets, it's fine, you can add it and it'll be accepted. but outside of square brackets, this is considered like a keyword in a sense. Okay, and yeah, I think, okay, we can also add a plus. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, now we have the email regex. Okay, and all you need to do is add some code that will test this regex, and the code to test this regex is pretty straightforward. First we're actually gonna input fields dot email. Okay, we're getting the email value now, and dot test. Okay, this is what you use, and in this regex. Okay, and this is going to test our regex. Actually, I'm gonna comment this out so that I can test the console log first. And this part needs to be in the test. Okay, this takes in, yeah, this takes in the string. Oh, okay, sorry, I thought you were gonna be putting this in. That was my bad, guys. Okay, for some reason this work, and I need to add a plus. Okay, as you can see, it's saying true, and our regex is working. So all you need to do is here you're gonna put in this, and let's do this, and I'm gonna say if the email regex test does not pass the email, then actually, you know what, let me just cut this out as well, because .com or .net or whatever ends up being used, it's gonna be small, it's not gonna be big letters. Okay, so here just put in the message. Okay, I'm just gonna use this, just gonna copy paste this in just to save some time. Okay, just save this, and also I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna save this. Yeah, that's it for the email. Save this, and it's just saying the password field is empty, and I'm gonna, let's remove this for now. Let's just submit this. Oh, this is because it's an email. Okay, so let's remove this. I think this should trigger it. Yeah, it's saying that the email is not valid. Okay, as you can see here, because this requires a minimum of 2, and if I say, let's say co, then it's gonna pass this because it's a minimum of 2, and sometimes you do have websites that have like a co or something like that, like 2 characters. So I hope you like this tutorial. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.